So yeah, if you are he, I implore you to not have a knee-jerk reaction to this and to actually listen to it. Okay, listen well. Sorry this is long. I got started writing and it just came out. It ends off in a nicer way. I understand if you can't read this, don't have time or patience or whatever, but it would mean a lot to me if you could please read. It will take a few minutes, and in some way, sometime, let us communicate. It's about 5:46 a.m. Wednesday, uh, April 30th. April 20th. I've been awake since about 3:30, and just sitting in bed. Tried to go back to sleep, but that was useless. So, yeah. Grant, you accused me of the exact things you were guilty of. What I was referencing there is I don't remember. There was something in your message to me on Telegram. I don't know. Accusing me of something. Let me go back and look. Finally, after about 20 days, actually, yeah, 20 days ago, or not 20 days, sorry. Well, it had been 20 days since I logged into Telegram. Yeah, and then you sent this on April 7th. It's now the 20th. Oh, yeah, I'll get into this later, but you say you want to be friends, but almost in the same breath, you want me to work at fixing things between us so that it will be the same as before. That's not true. No. I've said I wanted to fix our communication, rebuild some trust so that we could even have a friendship. Because how can you be friends if you've got like muddy waters sitting in the way? Then you just have to pretend. And that's not real or sincere. That's fake. I wasn't talking about being fake friends. As you have said in the past, being friends with an ex is just weird. No, what I said was you continuing to have a friendship with Teresa while you and I were in a committed relationship, long-term relationship, and we're making plans for the future and all of that. While I was across the seas, I was saying that it was not okay to go behind my back and go hanging out with her, going to her house, fixing things for her, doing things for her, having a barbecue, whatever. I made that known several times in our quote unquote relationship. And you knew this, and I asked you several times to not do that, and boundaries were crossed. So you went ahead and just did it anyway, even though you knew it was something that I was not comfortable with. I never said you had to cut off completely from her, but going to her house and hanging out and, you know, Christmas and birthdays and barbecues and going over there to put things together for her and that sort of thing, I was not comfortable with, and you knew this. And you did it anyway. So that was all. But I don't see any problem with, having a friendship and smoothing things over, so that there is understanding and good vibes with an ex. If you're, not already in another relationship, I don't see any problem with that. I don't see any harm to it. And in fact, I think that's a very healthy, sane, and wise and considerate thing to do. I know that with my two past relationships that I've had, I made every effort to, um, just kind of clean up the communication after things were all said and done. Did that with my ex-husband. We sat down and had a talk, and we, kind of cleaned things up a bit. And so I think that's always a decent, good thing to do. And yeah, I'm just going to finish reading this. I need to get my specs because I'm going blind. Okay, try to make this not too long. I'm actually getting really warm. Yes, I have a rainbow on my shirt. It's got a cat on it too. It's a bit of a goofy shirt, but anyways, yeah. Cool. So you imagine, okay, wait. You imagine me to have some other agenda other than being friends, which is completely false. You accuse me of not being able to communicate properly, which is false. I'm completely able to do that. The only reason it was ever hard for you to communicate with me has to do with your side, not mine. I have no problem communicating with you, and I do understand you and can understand you. However, you've taken no responsibility for the way you've treated me at all, avoided and evaded me, and refused to talk to me because you were, quote unquote, afraid it would go bad, without even giving me a chance, assuming the worst. Aside from the fact that you did lend me the money in a time of need, which he did so graciously recently, I'm very thankful for. Yeah, continuing. Which I humbly appreciate, but there is more to life than money and material things. Yes, I do feel I am owed a bit more than what you've given me, communication wise, after everything we've been through, and all I've asked for is a bit of your time and honesty and trust. Have not been demanding anything, and yet you accuse me of lying about trying to be friends. No, I was not lying, am not lying. I was sincere and have always been sincere with you. I have never been anything but real with you. Um, Sorry, this is getting a little awkward. Awkward. Okay. Um, yeah, I know it's long, but it needed to be said. Um, in order to even be able to communicate decently, some things needed to be cleaned up, that's all. Otherwise, the friendship even would be false and insincere. Please don't take this the wrong way, but you remained friends with Teresa and wanted to hang out with her while we were together. Uh, why not remain friends with me? Why go hanging out with her behind my back and organizing to do that and speaking with her, and now you won't even honor what we had? Is it that you have a new woman? Is that why? I don't know. Honestly, what have I done so wrong to make you resist me and push me away so much? I really don't get it. Because I wanted to understand what happened? How is that so horrible? You have hurt me beyond words. You have completely distorted our relationship and bond in your mind, and have rewritten our history in your mind. You don't seem to see me anymore and won't even give me a chance to recover some nice communication between us, even though you said you would. I will never understand why. I have not lied, cheated, been insulting, except for possibly saying how you've treated me badly with how things were left, betrayed you, gone back on my word, gone out of touch, blocked you, played hot and cold, or anything like that. Um, um, we made some agreements on top of the fact that we had real true love, real chemistry, and I had a real undying commitment to do right by you and serve you and be your woman and love and honor and respect you. Those are not empty words. You went back on your word to me many times. You say we can be friends or recover some trust, then pull away the minute we are done talking, giving me your pledge and taking it away at the same time. You accuse me of quote unquote pushing for something when I merely ask for it because you said we could be friends and start to rebuild some trust with some good communication. Well, then, I asked last time we talked, could we talk in a few days to rebuild some trust? You said, sure. There was absolutely no quote unquote pushing. If you tell me you are going to do something or agree to it, you should stick with it no matter what or how you are triggered by things over the next day or two or what you are thinking about me. Just do what you say you're going to do. You know? There was no yucky communication, just me asking for what time we could chat. This is in reference to, so last time we spoke, he said, yeah, we can talk in a few days. I messaged him that day, said, what time, but, checking in. It was a few days later, just checking in to see what time we could talk. And then I was ignored and later told, pretty much fuck off. I'm just getting on with my life now. No, he didn't actually say fuck off, but that was the gist of things. Um, Just me asking for what time we could chat, then you ignoring me. That's it. As I said, if you're going to do something, or we are going to do something, you should stick with it. And trust me that I will too. But it's a two-way street. To then complain that I'm asking to talk when you said we could a few days later is not fair to me and making me wrong for sticking to a few days later. We made a strong commitment to me coming out to Australia and rearranging my life to do so, spending several months out there and even working out there, and even talking about me putting everything in storage and leaving this house. Well, guess what? I'm now being forced to do that anyway with no place to go. And that is all I was trying to get you to stay accountable to, as well as the love and care that we shared for each other. We even said that if there was a miscommunication that we should be careful to make sure we don't misunderstand each other, as can happen on long distance, and clear up anything that needed to be. You told me there are no dumb questions when I asked about something to clarify, that we needed to make sure to communicate clearly about anything we didn't understand between each other, no matter what. The only thing I've ever pushed for is honesty, openness, staying true to what we've agreed, having open, decent communication, and having it be safe to communicate. You can't come back to me and say you never wanted that and didn't want it to. Now I'm in a situation where I'm about to lose my home, any security I have left. I have no job and can't move anywhere, and am paralyzed by fear and worry. But one thing is for sure, I do have the ability to communicate and can sort out anything with good, patient communication. Yep. You can't take that away from me. The only thing I wanted from you was to clear up what happened because it was left very abrupt with no understanding and just a bunch of generalities. For example, what happened at Christmas? He said there was that was the turning point for him after we'd already booked my flight and other things. um, Said that there was something bad that happened that day. But all we did was really, um, we had, you know, we had, there was nothing bad, actually. I mean, between us, our communication. We opened Christmas presents over Skype together. And I ended off with the conversation with saying, I miss you. I'm looking forward to seeing you. Um, and other nice things. You said that you did too. um, for example, what happened at Christmas? Nothing. I was ready to jump on a plane and come out and see you and spend some happy time together and work and live and play and laugh and help and be happy together. Well, obviously, there's always life things, but I was ready to come out and help as necessary. If you can ever get over the quote unquote feelings of it all and just have a rational conversation with me, I think you would find that it would actually be smooth. Very often, the quote unquote, the problem is not the problem. I am betting that if we talked openly about what actually happened, you would find there is actually no real reason it could not work. This is not to say that if we discovered that it would now automatically be restored. Nope. But it's not to say that it couldn't either. There is nothing wrong with my ability to communicate with you, as long as I can be spoken with respectfully and in a friendly manner as well, and I'm given truth and real communication and manners. I don't buy the fact that it was only me who was pushing for the best version of ourselves to surface um, and be together. You were totally in it too. Totally called me a lot too, and blah, 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 something about something a little bit more personal. You even sent me a beautiful necklace for Christmas. Yeah, told me that you wanted me and all that other stuff. You don't do that for someone you have no intention of being with. You have a very great ability to get the best, friendliest, and cutest, sweetest version of me to surface. But simply to just shut me out, block me, never speak to me again, yell at me is just rude and undeserved. And yes, I get it, you've had other stresses happening, and perhaps I did not know how much, but that is the problem with being long distance. It is hard sometimes to have a real picture, but that you should not fault me for. All I wanted to do was get an email address when you blew up at me, and we had just been speaking in a friendly manner earlier, so I had not thought it was a problem. But I was willing to do whatever it would take to close the gap so we would no longer be long distance. And then in bold, well, I am facing being homeless soon after all this. This is very scary for me. On top of it all, um, I have no way to actually be employed anywhere where I am living. I get too stressed and pressured to really do a whole lot online while at home. The gas prices eat into my profit when I do Uber driving. I have spent all day today looking for another room to rent. Most of them, actually all of them, say they will not accommodate children. I cannot fathom that our affinity could be reduced to just economics and how's the weather. It is deeper than that and always will be. I don't know what is happening with you. I know you don't want to tell me, but I'm here for you if you ever want to talk with no agenda or anything like that. I'm sorry that you are, quote unquote, dealing with some things too. As you said, I have no idea what that is all about. Um, the birds are coming out outside. And I've spent another night with barely any sleep. Well, I did get some sleep, but yep. I'm gonna finish reading this. I am graciously, and then in big bold letters, I am graciously and humbly grateful that you lent me that money. Um, I don't know if it's even going to do any good now anyway, as I have no place to go. Soon I'll have to put stuff in storage anyway and leave this house for good. So, that part is coming true. I am short for the rent on this place anyway and feel bad for taking it from you when it turned out I was just going to not move into that place anyway. Yeah, basically, I was told I could have this other room, and then all of a sudden it was given to someone else. I had half the house packed and a truck organized and a storage unit and a handyman helper to help me move stuff that I was going to pay. Uh, so now I'm just stuck. Um, if nothing else, it will help me get through the next month or so, but I'm pretty much drowning at the moment. Is that what you wanted to have happen? Is that how you wanted to leave things with me? and leave it this way without any communication. It just is that's the thing that's nuts. I'm not nuts. Okay. Um and then I put in italics. I want to remember you for all the lovely, friendly, and jovial, easygoing chats we've had over the years. The times when you expressed to me intention that we were going to make it all happen, the intention that you put into me, and growing income and business together, and overcoming the hard talks along the way, and how we could persevere no matter what. I want to remember you as being the nice, kind, sweet gentleman who showed me a lot of love and showed me what it is to remain positive despite any faults or setbacks. I want to see you this way. I accept that you are not always this way, and I accept you for who you are and that you have bad moods too. I am not always sweet and cute and beautiful and stuff either, but I am trying to be the better version of myself as much as I can, despite hardship. It's always a work in progress. And then I spoke about this. I've given up drinking for real this time. I drank a lot more over the past 2 years than I ever have. I did so sometimes to reduce stress or numb pain, or because I hate being alone, or I don't even really know why. I don't want to remember you for shunning me and accusing me of things that aren't true and blocking me out of your life after all the wonderful times we had. Good friends are sometimes hard to come by. If you don't have another woman or girlfriend, there is no harm in us being friends and giving each other a bit of moral or emotional support and positive feedback and care and chatting occasionally. So that's like, you know, not every day like it used to be, but, you know, just having free and open communication without any like uh, big resistance, like, fuck you, I'm gonna just fuck off and get on with my life and just fuck you, which is really disrespectful. And, you know, not leaving things nicely is just, is basically just with no communication at all for um, what happened. It's just like, what? I mean, you were all in on this too. So, to just try and rewrite the history and say, oh yeah, I just, you know, I never wanted it anyway. Sort of like, yes, you did. um, so, and if you're saying that you just led me on, knowing that you were going to just call it all off after you gave me $1,000 to come out there, and all this other stuff. Um, that's pretty. That's pretty awful. I don't believe that you just led me on, um, with like not actually intending to stick it out, and wanting me there with you. Um, you made it very clear to me that you wanted it to. So, if you don't have another woman or girlfriend, there's no harm in us being friends and giving each other. Yeah, said that we know each other really well, and if looking at things in a positive way, can understand each other very well. We may not always agree on everything, but that's okay. At least with me, it is. Rather than belittle me, educate me. I'm always willing to learn from another's point of view and why and how they see what they see. Um, yeah, don't, judge me or criticize me for it, whatever, just, um, yeah. I care about you, and I miss our fun, laughter, and sense of purpose and achieving goals together. Most of all, I miss you because I know you and you know me. I'm sorry about the hurt. I wish I could gently take it all away from you with one wave of my hand and clear away any negative thoughts or emotions and help you see and believe in only the good, joy, beauty, and abundance all around. Thanks for reading this if you did. Ha! I know that you didn't. Um, Please understand if I am telling you these things, these are my truths. I'd like to create in your mind a better version of the way you see me and my intentions. I'm not telling you these things for an ego trip or to boost my self worth. I am not sure how I'm going to survive soon, and I want to be left. Things to be left good between us. Does that make sense? Now, if you're asking for my intention of what I was trying to achieve, that right there should make it very clear and plain. I want things to be left good between us. I'm not sure how I'm going to survive soon. Don't feel obligated to write back a response, but only do so if you feel inspired or compelled to let me know. We can chat sometime in the future with better understanding. I hope you understand me. Warm regards, Ann Goth. And this is the response that I got back. 5:03 a.m., which is probably 10:03 p.m. there. So yeah, what were you trying to achieve with that? How did you think that would be received? Just seems like you wanted to vent, knowing full well that when you do that, it alienates me even more. I guess that you take that as a cost of feeling better or something. Hope it was worth it for you. So can you stop it already? It's not welcome. Charming. No, I won't ever stop. And, I wasn't really expecting that uh, that kind of response. I actually, I guess I was disillusioned. In my twisted mind, I thought that maybe somehow I might actually get through to you and might actually, get through to you and actually, I thought maybe you'd leave it for a few days and then maybe write back, all right, so you want to be friends? Because I like to see the good in people. I like to see that, and I like to believe that within everyone there is a kind heart somewhere. And I was trying to reach yours. And I doubt that you even have the capacity to actually watch this the whole way through. It's a shame. So I said, This is just a little while ago. It's now 6:20. Whoa, this has been going for a while. Yep. No understanding still for anything I said. Really, Grant? How can you be so cold to me? Even with the nice things I said at the end, where I'm referencing, how I want to remember you for all the good, you know, wonderful times and for being a gentleman with me and, all the times that you were sweet with me and loving and the wonderful chemistry that we had between each other and all that.